$2,000,000.68 for 68686868 and declaring an emergency.
And that doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't happen often. And this is just creating, again, just creating a fund for it to pay for the bridge and moving the money into it. Correct?
It's for just the pass-through payments that ODOT will be making on behalf of this project.
That was one question I had. We've got state funding for it. This is just the placeholder to get the money in and pay the contractor.
Well, actually, it doesn't, it's just a pass-through. The money doesn't physically come. The payments that ODOT makes, we show them as in our books because we have to per the auditor. So we show it coming in and coming out, but there's no physical money that's exchanged. Yeah. That's one of those funds where they talk about that it's not real money, so it's not a part of your, even though it's considered a part of your budget, it's not really budget money, it's not money you're spending. It's just showing that transaction, which you have to do when it's tied to any federal funds.
The reason I brought it up, just so it's not New Franklin money going to this. This is a grant.
No, it'll just be the ODOT
Right.
payments that ODOT is making to the, whoever, is it Shook, I believe?
Okay.
The contractors and in some cases, if there's a company that's doing the administration of it, then it would be that too.
Any other questions, comments? Comfortable waiving 3? Moving on. Resolution 22R38, a resolution authorizing New Franklin to purchase a police cruiser and declaring that this is declaring an emergency. And this is to replace a vehicle that was totaled. And we'll be getting a 2022 Ford Police Explorer 4x4 vehicle. And the net cost after trade-ins is $27,766.50. We were able to trade in 3 vehicles for a total of about $5,000, I believe, and to get us down to that price. The bid that was attached to it is the same bid that was used back in April, I believe. And it was dated for February. Is that bid still valid? Is the price is still valid for that?
It is. Yes.
State contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they didn't really hold the price, it would just be,
It's a big lump sum. So they have items and they give them a price and they're good for a certain period of time. With this being totaled, was there an insurance?
Yeah, 15,000.
Okay,
So that'll be applied towards the cost as well.
Okay, so
15,700 actually.
that drives the net cost down to 12,000.
Right.
Nice.
And it was budgeted, they were, the police had intended to, they were gonna buy 1 patrol car, 1 DARE vehicle, and an unmarked car this year, and they decided they don't need that extra unmarked car. So the funds they had set aside for that, which I think was in the range of $20,000, will be used to cover the share of this. So it's all budgeted and appropriated.
And that's why there's no dollar amount in the resolution, because it's all within budgeted and appropriated.
Well, we got the dollar amount of what the cost is in the whereas.
Oh, in the,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
not in the park department.
And it's in the attached.
I mean, at the top of the, yeah.
Yeah, I know all the data's in there, but the resolution.
And then the attachment is incorporated.
Yeah.
As far as timing on this, I'm assuming we're looking at probably 4 to 6 months before we actually.
Yeah, so we want to get it in as soon as we can naturally, but yeah, it'll be a while before we get the vehicle.
Any other questions or comments? Comfortable waiving 3? Moving on. Resolution 22R39, a resolution authorizing expenditures from the Law Enforcement Trust Fund for the purposes set forth in the New Franklin Police Department Law Enforcement Trust Fund policy. So this is money that we receive as a result of fines, forfeitures, and proceeds from contraband. It goes into the trust fund, and then that money is allowed to be spent by the police for very specific items, and only those specific items. And this resolution then is just basically giving the police authorization to do that within those guidelines.
That's it. And we had to adopt a policy consistent with statute as to how those funds were being spent, and that's referenced in the resolution as well. That authorizes the expenditure of those funds for the purposes as set forth in the law enforcement trust fund policy, which is attached. So we didn't have, the department didn't have a specific written policy to authorize the use of those funds. So that was researched, they put this policy together, and council then will authorize the use of those funds consistent with the provisions in that policy.
Quick question for Susan. So this would be no transfer from the general fund into this? This is just,
Right, it's just the one, there were already monies in that, but we weren't expending them because we didn't have the backup information to be able to do so. So now this gives us that ability.
this fund will show up in the financial reports?
Oh, it does, yes.
Okay.
It's, right now, it's a little bit over $7,000. But it's basically sat there because we didn't have the enabling legislation that permitted the expenditures to be made from the fund.
And there was probably legislation back in township days, but we don't know and we can't find it. So we needed to update this to make it, so we could use it basically.
Is there something they want to use it for now? Or just to have it so that if something does come up?
I can't recall. I can't recall. There was some indication that we were going to spend some money, and we thought, well, let's spend it out of this fund. I can't recall specifically what it was. But it was, as much as anything else, just when we had that meeting once again in budget, we said, this money that sits in this fund, we don't fund it internally with transfers. It would only be funded in the future with forfeitures or portions of those kind of things. So I'll let you know, but I can't. There was some specific purpose. I can't remember what it was, but it was something that was legitimately within the confines of the policy.
And some of those things that are within the confines of the policy would be complex investigations and prosecutions. I'll pay for those to provide reasonable technical training or expertise, money for grants, to matching funds for grants or support the DARE program or other educational programs. So again, it's very specific things that this money can be spent
I guess
on.
I'll training in there as well.
Yes. Any other questions, comments? Comfortable waiving the 3 readings on this? All right, and then we will close the Finance Committee meeting at 6:14.
Does anybody have any questions?
You got Mr. Sachs.
So I'm getting ready
Oh, I'm sorry,
We
David.
have a supplemental agenda this evening.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna go ahead and open up Streets and Drainage Committee at 6:16. All our members are present. A resolution approving a change order to the North Star Asphalt 2022 paving contract and declaring an emergency. It looks like there's some berm work that wasn't planned for originally.
That's exactly it. Yeah, it wasn't included in the bid specs. And once the work was completed, it was obviously, we need them. And so that's why we have put this on. We knew it was coming. We just got, actually, if you look in the date of the change order, it was July 1st, so we just couldn't get this in front of you. But we didn't want to wait till the following meeting because they'll do the work within the next few days if council passes this tonight.
It's an additional $27,465. So that's the linear grading, that's $75, and that's for the 21,825, and we got maintenance traffic on some for $4,250, and mobilization lump sum for $1,390. $1,300.90. So I think it's $27,465.
Is this all on roads that are paved?
Yeah, this is-
So
this
isn't additional?
No, this is specifically on Common Road.
Oh,
Just-
okay.
just- Yeah, they ground that and that's been built and paved. So they're on site too already. I don't see any reason why we just try to throw this out the bid at this point when they're already on site and work needs to be done. So I will be asking the grade the 3 readings on this. If there's an objection, we'll find out when it comes time. Anything else for streets and drainage?
One thing I'd like to ask is when we did the purpose or actually did legislation on this, we didn't ask for a contingency, did we?
No, What do you mean?
So like a lot
In
of
other words,
projects
if
we'll
for-
do, so let's just say it's a $300,000 project. we'll
We
ask
did not.
for. That gives you some extra money for these unforeseens you're coming to.
Exactly. No, and we have phrased some of our bids that way, but this one we did not. And historically, we haven't, but going forward, we may want to think about that.
Yeah, because we haven't had very many change orders on,
No,
on the road.
No.
And what is that called, Kevin?
A contingency.
And that would be something,
So you put that in there for like 5% over the cost of the contract, which allows for unforeseen repairs. Which is just a
Right.
comment.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt looks great. It's just on street and drainage.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks for getting.
No, we're all happy about that. Thanks, you guys.
Everything looks great.
It does, West Hammond also,
You've done a
really
nice
looks
job.
good.
It's always looked good, it looks good the day you do it, so.
We've had pretty good luck with our paving.
Mhm.
And some of our chip and seal, some other communities had some issues with it. I mean, chip and seal is chip and seal. But I think we've had pretty good luck with our chip and seal, our, contractors taking care of it. And North Star has done a lot of work for us.
They have,
So,
and they seem to always get good comments.
yeah.
As you said, sometimes things you get bumps, but most of the time, they've had very good comments.
When they come in, that's the lowest and best and responsible bids.
Are you looking to waive the 3?
I would like to, I'll be asking for that and put it to work. All right, other than that, anything else for streets and drainage? We're going to close it at 6:20. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any comments, any questions? If not, I'd like to call to order the City of New Franklin regular meeting, July 6th at 6:20. Everybody would stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kelly, would you do a roll call?
Mr. Cox?
Present.
Mr. Hargit?
Present.
Mrs. Jones?
Present.
Mr. Powell?
Present.
Mr. Daniels?
Here.
Mr. Stock?
Here.
Thank you. Could I have someone, I will do the approval. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Thank you. We have a first and a second. The second was Mr. Stock. Would you do a roll call?
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
You would abstain. Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yeah,
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Thank you. Does anyone in the audience have anything to say? Any questions?
Yeah. Mr. Mayor and council members, I just want to commend you on the nice paving that was done over in our neighborhood, Valley Crest and True Forest and all that. That really went very well. And also all your activities at the Tudor House. They've gone very well, I think. It's just really nice to see that's been improved and what it can be used for. I guess I am here for Mr. Huzik's house. Not much has happened in the last 2.5 months or so. He finally did receive his dirt after 3 years, but he had numerous piles and he's kind of spread some of them out and so forth. So I know last time there was somewhat of a delay on moving on that, probably because of an illness of either a commission member or something like that. There was something that came up about that. I'm just questioning perhaps what the status might be or what might be in the works in the future for Mr. Huzik's area.
I am embarrassed to tell you that I can't tell you specifically.
Okay.
We have an action pending. We have a contempt citation. We're looking for a court date. And that had been moved once. And I told council I would follow up on that, and I did, but I didn't get the answer, and I didn't follow up on that. So I will inform council, and if you'll leave your information, I'll let you know before the end of the week what the intention is on that.
Okay.
But the intention is to go back in and we've already got an order that permits us to go back in and do another cleanup. And I know that part of the delay, I had mentioned this before, is occasion between what exactly are we able to take out of there and what, you know, what is he permitted to have? And it's a little tricky. And then we have to be extra careful that we don't pull something out of there that we don't have a right to pull out. We don't want to end up, you know, creating liability for the city while we're trying to. So I'll get some answers on that.
Okay.
And please leave your information. I'll make sure we get to you.
Okay, I sure appreciate it.
And then the larger question is, Mr. Daniels has been one who's talked a number of times about, you know, what can we do code-wise perhaps? And the struggle of, there's no one-size-fits-all.
Well, we have so many different types of neighborhoods in this community. But that neighborhood in particular is a development, you know, it's
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very clear structured development. They don't have an HOA, you know, per se. It's a little different than somebody being out on a state route or something, you know.
It breaks my heart when I see it. It's,
It is a shame. I mean, I worry about I know there are 2 young girls in the middle school, and you know, hopefully the inside of the house doesn't look as bad as the outside, and I hope that they're safe. I just, you know, I know that there's, maybe there are some issues there that, you know, are hard to address. I understand that.
You know what, I apologize. You probably said it and I just missed it. Did you give Kelly your name?
I have a name.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did not give it to her.
I did not hear it.
Okay, do you wish me to say it out loud now, or just give it to her when I leave?
When you stand up to talk, you should give your name and address. I was just following the rules, and I didn't hear you say it. I thought maybe I missed it.
No, I neglected to say it. So Margaret Grigsby, 634 Valley Crest Drive, New Franklin, 44319.
Thank you.
And that property seems to go through some cycles as far as the front being kind of cleaned up and then
Yes.
suddenly, and right now it's on the high end again. It's a lot of buildup on that property again.
got rid of the orange fence, though, didn't it? That didn't go back up, did it?
I don't think the orange fence went up, but sometimes I wish we could put a 10-foot fence at the road
Yeah.
to cover it up.
This you
And I
don't have
don't
to
mean to
give.
be facetious about this, but.
No, there's nothing funny about it. You don't have to give this publicly, but if you will give the phone number after the meeting, so that I can get back to you.
Sure.
Or an email address, whatever you're more
Right,
comfortable with.
okay.
And Jack's right, we do have different areas. And this one is, because we have some down close to where I live, and I know when we complained about some of them, we were told it's farm area, so it's hard to distinguish what is a weed and what is a flower.
Yeah, I just wish, I mean, my heart goes out to everybody in this situation. We've just gone through this real estate wave. What if you were next door to them and you had to sell your house and now here we've got real estate changing, it just really could put you in a tough spot because I wouldn't buy a house next to them, I don't know the person, so I have no individual axe to grind, but it just seems like we should be able to, our wards are so different. Ward 1 is, and that's technically Ward 2. No, that's still Ward 1.
No,
Is it 2?
We're two.
Because Catalina is the one there, okay. So yeah, it's just, that corner is so much different than the rest of the city. It'd be nice if we could have some rules. Although this one, we don't need a rule, we've already got the rule.
Well, we've got an order, but
Yeah.
it's still the rule itself. That's where it gets tricky. What is he allowed to have and what is he not allowed to have?
Right.
As opposed to, I don't know. I'd be interested. You almost have to get into the subjective standards. We've talked about that before.
Right.
Something that's offensive to a person of reasonable sensibilities. That's one of the taglines in law.
Right.
As opposed to saying you can't have, building equipment.
Right.
Well, wait a minute. Is this building equipment or is this trash? We're not. We are somewhat unique in the composition of our city, but we're not entirely unique. And I will tell you that, and I wasn't picking on you, Mr. Powell, for information, but the first city that came to my mind was Hudson, where you've got some really, 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 really nice neighborhoods, and then you've got a rural sector of Hudson. That's not an exaggeration. Do you know what do they do up there? Do they
They're a
have?
lot stricter.
Huh?
They're a lot stricter.
Is it across the board as far as? Yeah.
And every time, I mean, people have been up there for a while, when we get into zoning, start telling people they can't have unlicensed vehicles and stuff, and
Right.
it's a heck of a conversation. You
It's
know, we've
complicated.
been through it, yeah, it's very complicated. You know, because people would think that, you know, it's a junk car because it's not plated or nothing, but it's not a junk car to that person, you know, so when this comes up, it's a very touchy situation, and we've been through it a lot of different times, you know, so, I mean, when we start talking about be prepared, because this room will be
Yeah.
full, and you know, it's gonna.
Well, it's one of the reasons
I'm for
I,
it, but it's,
it's one of the reasons I think it's good to have this dialogue and have this discussion, because the more we talk about it in these meetings, the more people hear about it, and if people feel passionately on one side or the other, you know. We're working on it from a legislative standpoint. It's just taken time, but this one we have an order.
And I think there's an intention to incorporate some of the inquiry in the survey that'll go out.
That is correct. So speaking of that, the comprehensive plan, I'm on the survey subcommittee of the steering committee. And that's one of the group of questions that's going out to the community is what do you think about, I'm not gonna get the phrasing correct, but there's been a lot of thought go into it, property maintenance ordinances. You know, you have the extremes where you're not allowed to have a boat in your yard. I don't think we have any interest in that, but we may find that the community has more interest than we know. And that's where this comprehensive plan will give us some good feedback from the community.
Well, I think most of us, every ward, you could name one location in that would be an eyesore, is what we would call it.
Right. So if we could break legislation where everybody just provides a picture and says, we don't want this,
it's tricky stuff.
it's tricky.
We're trying to convince that homeowner that maybe what they're doing is not what the rest of the people in the community want. That's really what we'd like to do. You can't do that sometimes without laws.
And then sometimes it's just because somebody's got an axe to grind, because we had one, the semi truck that, after all the time, it was just, the homeowner, or the neighbors just did not get along.
They didn't get along.
The guy that was idling all the time.
Well, that was probably 10 years ago.
It was,
12 years
it was.
ago. Yeah, it was up like around Harder Home, I guess. and-
Yeah, I think it was. I
and
think it was
came
Harder
down to
Home,
they
honey.
both would just at each other about everything, you know, so it really wasn't about that truck. So that's another thing you gotta start looking at, is that somebody's gonna say, we don't want this, you know, we don't want this because it's, then the neighbors just gonna get along. So that's why it's tough to, you know, but we definitely looked at it. It wouldn't be the first time.
And we have not, we have not created any animosity in our neighborhood at all. We have not approached Mr. Hoosie for, we haven't done anything that would cause, some axe to grind as such, just so you know. I mean, we're a few houses up, so, and I wouldn't try to do that anyway. We're just not like that, so.
I've seen it, I've been by there several times. and I can
I'm
see
sure,
where
yeah, I'm sure it
It can be
can.
upsetting, for
Right.
sure.
Sure.
So,
Kelly, would you read resolution number 22R36?
is there anybody else?
Anybody else have any more questions?
Yeah, comments.
Does anybody else have any more comments?
Just checking.
Thank you, Jane.
Resolution 22R-36, a resolution authorizing the transfer of funds from the general fund to the police district fund and declaring an emergency.
This resolution is assigned to the Finance Committee. We move to waive the three readings on Resolution 22R36.
Second.
You have a first and a second?
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
We move to adopt Resolution 22R36.
Second.
We have a first and a second?
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
22R-37, a resolution creating a separate fund for the Benner Road Bridge project and authorizing appropriations to the Benner Road Bridge project fund Fund Number 2070 in the amount of $686,868.68 and declaring an emergency.
This resolution is assigned to the Finance Committee. We move to waive the 3 readings on Resolution 22R37.
Second?
We have a first and a second.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cotts?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
We move to adopt Resolution 22R37.
Second.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cotts?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes. Motion passes 6-0.
Resolution 22-R-38, a resolution authorizing New Franklin to purchase a police cruiser and declaring an emergency.
This resolution is assigned to the Finance Committee. We move to waive the 3 readings on Resolution 22R38.
Second?
We have a motion and a second.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cotts?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
We move to adopt Resolution 22R38.
Second. We have a first and second.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cotts?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes. Motion passes 6-0.
Resolution 22-R-39, a resolution authorizing expenditures from the law enforcement trust funds for the purposes set forth in the New Franklin Police Department Law Enforcement Trust Fund Policy.
This resolution is assigned to the Finance Committee. We move to waive the 3 readings on Resolution 22R39.
Second. We have a first and a second.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cotts?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
We move to adopt Resolution 22R39.
Second. We have a first and a second.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cotts?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Resolution 22-R-40, a resolution approving a change order to the North Star Asphalt 2022 paving contract and declaring an emergency.
Discuss this in Streets and Drainage Committee. I'd like to make a motion to waive the 3 readings on this.
Second. We have a first and a second.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cotts?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 22-R-40.
Second. We have a motion and a second.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Cotts?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. We have no second readings, no third readings, and no pending legislations. Paul, I think it's time for the favorite part of the meeting. The mayor's report.
The little drum roll there. Thank you. Well, I will, it's old news now, but I couldn't officially announce it the last time we were together, and that's the success of the grant application for the state capital budget of $300,000 for the Tudor House. And thank you for the kind words about the Tudor House. And it's just, so many great things happen out there, and here's $300,000 more that's gonna happen out there. The seawall and the lakefront trail. So that is official, and we're beginning the planning process of that right now in terms of specifying exactly what the components of the project are going to be. We're going to have to bid it out and the various components, etc. So you'll be getting legislation on that because those funds will come into the city, and the contractors then will be paid by the city. So But that's happening, another 300,000 out there, which
That is excellent,
incredible.
really is.
Incredible. Okay. NOPEC has sent a notice that, and we are a NOPEC community for electric. And the NOPEC electric price, the notice says, is more than the current utility price to compare. I don't know. I mean, I went to school for 20 years, and this is it is never easy, really, for me. Still, maybe it's just me, sifting through exactly what advantage NOPEC is. I'm convinced of the NOPEC advantage. Our prices have been good with the NOPEC advantage, but it's a little tricky. So I'm picking up some of the nomenclature, and I'll kind of challenge you guys to do the same. And some of you may be totally up to verse on it, but there is this PTC, price to compare. That's a term of art in electric aggregation, and there's a comparison then in terms of who you want to choose, because you have those options. If you stay with the voters a long time ago voted to be part of NOPEC, and so we get the NOPEC price, and you always have an option to opt out of that if you choose to opt out of that NOPEC price. So you're included unless you opt out. All right. And historically, it's been a good price. It's been lower than market. All right. This notice came across saying that it is currently more than the current price to compare, PTC. According to NOPEC, the PTC is low because the utility began purchasing power more than 11 months ago when prices were much lower. This difference, according to NOPEC, will continue until May of 2023 when it will be adjusted. Now, until then, if you are in NOPEC, if you haven't opted out, and you want to get the lower rate, you can contact NOPEC, and we'll put this on our website. They have a customer care center, phone number 855-667-3201. 855-667-3201, and you can ask specifically to be dropped to the utility's default service at no charge. But that's different than trying to opt out. So you'll still be in NOPEC, but you're going to ask for the default service. And my understanding is that'll drop you down to the PTC price. Anybody who switches now or goes to the default service, you can go back on to the NOPEC price when it becomes more favorable. But you haven't opted out of NOPEC, so you're still in NOPEC. Okay. So that's the general thrust of this. We appreciate NOPEC giving us a notice on this. They do note that although the gas price has increased, the NOPEC price is still 12% less for Dominion and 28% less for Columbia Standard Choice offer. So it's, even if you're still on the NOPEC, it's still a deal. And finally, they cautioned that we have discovered there are some nefarious energy suppliers are using this uncertainty to their advantage. And so please really be careful. We came across this a couple of years ago with some door-to-door, and we addressed it. So if you have questions about it, please call up here to the city, and we'll put you, they've been very user-friendly, NOPEC has, and there's a decent chance they'll be able to explain it a little better than I just did. But we just want to let you know that opportunity exists out there.
Mr. Adams, real quick, just to clarify.
Sure.
And as you were speaking, we are a gas community of NOPEC. You stated originally that we were an electric community, but we are a gas community with NOPEC.
You are correct in that. Yeah, electric is, we're not in electric.
She
Okay.
said gas at the end.
Yeah, all right. And I don't think this impacts the gas. I think
Just
this
the
impacts only,
The Summit County has a.
no, I mean, but, the price contract.
Right, but Summit County
Yeah.
has a NOPEC program, I
Electric.
believe, that affects, that people can enroll in Summit County, but New Franklin is just gas.
Correct. Yeah, and you're right, in the Summit County
Just that
aggregation,
one
that's because of
procedure
First
at all.
Energy. Yeah, all right, well, yeah, all right, thank you. Should have stopped me earlier, but I appreciate it.
Well, I wasn't sure, I was trying to look it up real quick.
Yeah, I go back and forth on it. All right, I have more, let's see, more news of prices going up. This is Republic. The contract that we piggybacked with Green had a fuel surcharge component that created an increase in cost if diesel fuel went above $4 a gallon. They adopted their contract back in February of 2021. We joined it for 4 years, effective April 1st of this year. The diesel prices are obviously are in excess of $4 per gallon. The contract requires that if they stay above that for 90 days in the following quarter, then NOPEC can impose a fuel surcharge.
Republic. You said no.
NOPEC, but yeah, NOPEC and Republic. They can both do it.
It just shows we're listening.
I appreciate that. So the good news is, well, there is no good. Well, the good news is this: that the fuel surcharge would amount to approximately 80 cents per month for the full service. So we're trying to save every nickel we can, but it's not overly burdensome. When they notified us of this, we pointed out to them that we did agree to a price that was a little higher than Green's. And we felt that maybe we should get some relief on that basis. And specifically, we asked them to forbear the increase for the third quarter. And if they're going to impose it at all, do it in the fourth quarter. And we had a nice, very cordial meeting here. But it was mostly cordial. And they came back a couple days later and agreed to do that. So that you won't see that in your July bill. If the prices stay up for the 90 days prior to September, you will see it in the September billing for the fourth quarter. And we'll hope for the best. But as we said, we get billed quarterly, it would come out to about $2.40 more for your 3-month bill if you're on the full service, and it's less than that if you have one of the other tiers of Republic service. I'll let you know about that one. Everything goes up, including dispatcher salaries. The South Southern COG, which is, I will say, been a really, really good fit for us for so many reasons, one of which is personnel and staffing. And everybody's struggling with that. When the COG was formed and it joined the dispatch members from New Franklin with Green, Green's dispatch were part of a union, and New Franklin was not. And it was anticipated that, well, once that new department was formed, this has been going on now for about a year. They took a vote and they voted to join the union, and the same union that Green was a part of. Although the local number I can't recall. In any event, they then went into negotiations in late spring, and they came back with a contract. And the contract is very much consistent price-wise with. It's not far off what we set the standards for, because when we put the salary range together for that dispatch, we used Green's as opposed to ours, and New Franklin's was substantially less, which was one of the reasons why we had our time staffing. So the long and the short of it is that it's a 3-year contract. It's approximately 3-3-2. Trying to think, maybe 3-4-2.
No, it was 3 and 2 in the last 2 years, and the first year was not a percent. It wasn't a percentage; it was a dollar amount.
Right. So what that will amount to, we have 13 full-time staff there. With the projection, with 13 full-time, with that raise on an annual basis, it's going to result in additional billing for the city of New Franklin in the range of about $32,000 to absorb that cost. We also authorized the expansion to 14 people because they're having the same problem everybody else is having in terms of staffing, and they're having to go to a lot of overtime. The determination has been made that it'd be more economical to add another full-time. So as of right now, they're at 12. And they're in the process of trying to bring it up to 13. And they're filling in with some part-time people, but it's really, really hard to get part-time in the dispatch anymore. Once they fill that 13 spot, if they get a viable candidate, they'll go up to 14 full-time. Whether that's going to happen this year is debatable. When it does, let's say if we go into next year and we're at 14, it's going to be about 52,000 or more for the city of New Franklin's share. And we pay 40% of whatever the total cost is. So I want to keep you advised on it. None of it is particularly surprising. You're going to pay more money when the raises go into place. But the good news is that it was a very cordial negotiation, and I thought the wage increases were consistent with what's going on around the state. Actually, a little bit less because we're seeing a lot of them are at 4%. And what it also then did was it raised the average rate. It put us pretty square in the middle of what's being paid in the various dispatch centers in Northeast Ohio. Because what we don't want to do is hire them, train them, and lose them. And that's the situation we were in when we had our own independent dispatch. So that's just a forecast for you. We don't know what the bump is going to be, whether there may be enough in the budget that there won't be any increase in terms of what we've been paying quarterly. I think we go quarterly on that, don't we? Yeah. So whether we'll see an increase in the fourth quarter, I'm not sure. We probably will when we get to the start of the year. We'll keep you advised on that.
So that 32,000 for the first year, and you spoke of the 52 for the second. Is that a total of 80 between the two, or
No.
is that just an additional?
It's an either
20?
or. Yeah, exactly. It'd be
Okay.
additional 20.
All right.
Yeah. If it's 13 people, it'll be about 30. If it's 14, it'll be close to 50. Yeah. All right. Now, on the flip side, we are getting our second tranche of money from ARPA, and that'll come in sometime after July 15th, and $743,179 will be coming. So you may recall that even though that money's coming in here in 2022, under the current guidelines, which we believe to be the final guidelines, there's two things that go on. We can basically use it for any governmental purpose. So that, the purpose provision has expanded during the course of the distributions between the first one and the second one. And we have until December of 2024 to obligate those funds. So, as you know, the bulk of that has been used on paving the first time around. We, of course, will have some internal discussions here, and when we head towards budgets for next year, September, October, have those conversations. Naturally, we're going to be looking for guidance, direction, see what, we'll share our thoughts with you, with council, and see what makes the most sense in terms of those funds. I wish it were $3.5 million. There's a lot of things we could do. We'll talk about a variety of them. But it may be that we come back and say, listen, let's just try to do some more paving because that's going to last. So that may turn out to be the recommendation we make, but ultimately council will make that decision in terms of, and we'll have appropriate legislation. Now, whether or not, whether we earmark something in this budget or not, we're not bound to do that. We could, it could be done at any point in time. So those funds are there, and that's good news.
And you said those funds we have until December of 2024?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And don't have to be expended, I think, until 2026.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they gave the municipalities and cities and states quite a bit of time to do what they see most fit relative to those funds. All right, that's the heavy duty stuff. The Dragon Boat Festival is Saturday, July 23rd at 8:30 a.m. If you haven't been, you just come out and watch it. It's a spectacle out there.
Or volunteer.
Or volunteer, all the better. Yeah, but I mean, the beach is full and the music, and it's just such a lively event. And we have a team, and we are still looking for a couple more good men. We've got a couple more openings. So if you're interested in being a paddler, it's going to tie you up till maybe 2 in the afternoon, assuming we keep winning heats like we are known to do. So we get 2 heats in the morning, and then if we succeed, we come after the lunch hour. And so we're gonna have nice T-shirts, we're gonna get lunch for people, and we're gonna have some more fun down there. It really supports such a good cause, breast cancer. And so being the host city, it's a big deal. So please mark that one on your calendar.
And there's a lot of other vendors there also, so there's things to do besides just, watching these boats
Right.
look fine.
Yeah. All right, and thank you for mentioning the Tudor House. Family of Spill was fabulous. We had maybe over 200 people out there for fill in the blanks. And the upper patio worked really nicely for that. The next movie is next Tuesday, and it's Encanto, which you're all familiar with. I don't know, it's something animated.
Disney animated.
It's a Disney animated that the kids that I think are gonna love. We're gonna have the Kona Ice will be out there, and one of the baseball organizations, they come out and set their wares out there, and we'll probably sell some pop and water. The next music night is Tuesday, July 26th, and that's Bobby Silvaggi Jazz Quartet. And he is the director. I got his resume in there. He's played out there once before for a private event. The top line published jazz saxophonist. Really, really talented. He's, I think, the director of the jazz program at Kent State University, and he's got numerous recordings, and so he's going to be out there. And so if you like jazz, this is going to be a fun one.
What was the date on that?
That is Tuesday, July 26th. That'll start right at 7 o'clock. The movies, we open the grounds about 7:30, come out and have some fun on the grounds, and as soon as it gets dark enough, we start the film. But you'll see some more promotion for the jazz group. They're worth coming out for. And Lala's is going to prepare some term that starts with a char. Charcuterie?
Charcuterie.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. You guys familiar with that term? Anybody know?
Charcuterie board?
Yeah.
Well, it's
But
a bunch of
it's
treats.
Just
Yeah.
little separate ones.
Yeah, so they're going to prepare those, and they're going to promote it at Lala's, and if you want to order one of those to have brought out, you can bring your own, you're welcome to bring your own beverage. That's going to be a fun event. All right. And lastly, the Tudor House barbecue, summer barbecue. I'm giving you an advance to Thursday, August 25th. We'll be talking about this. Yeah, it's on there, right? Good. And that's our primary fundraiser to fund all these events. And so please, we've kept the tickets at $50. Great barbecue dinner, music. We have giveaways and drawings. We have tables of 8 with sponsorship for $500. The tickets are $50 each. So if you know somebody, we'll be hitting our regular sponsors up. But that's a lot of fun too. So that's going to be on a Thursday this year. I'm sorry, Thursday, August 25th. And that's all I got.
If I could make a comment about the Tudor House, this is very anecdotal, but there's been a lot of concern about the sound. I was on a boat coming around the point and saw the Tudor House and saw there was something big going on there, a wedding apparently. Well, as I got closer, it became obvious that it was a wedding. There were a bunch of young people dancing, and I told the other people in the boat, let's turn the radio off and everything, let's listen, see what we can hear. Again, this is anecdotal. It was just that day. We heard the people cheering as they were dancing. They were doing some dance and jumping. We could hear the people cheering. We could not hear the music.
Wow.
So I know Mr. Cantor has put a lot of effort into designing the sound correctly. I'm sure it's not perfect. But that day, whatever they were listening to, they could clearly hear it. They were having a blast. We had to get really close to be able to hear the music.
That's beautiful.
It really was impressive.
There was we were flying on faith on that one in that regard, and trusting his reputation in the industry. It seemed to make sense. But from our end, there have been no complaints that have reached my desk for noise for the, any of its events so far, so knock on wood.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I mean, this was purely anecdotal.
appreciate that.
It was 1 3-minute
That matters.
piece of time that we were butting across the lake, so.
No, thank you for sharing that, Jack, appreciate that, Mr. Daniels, thanks.
We have the comprehensive plan committee report. Would that be you, Chad?
That would be me. So, we had a meeting a couple weeks ago, and then I've been out of town since then, but, we are meeting again on the 12th, which is next Tuesday. The public is welcome to come. I strongly encourage it. It's a group of people in the community that are working to gather the opinions of the community. That gets a little complicated sometimes. Different people have different attitudes and opinions about how to gather opinions, so we're working through that. And I think it's going well so far. It's still the beginning of the process. We're working on the survey right now, asking some questions like we talked earlier about property maintenance regulation. You know, we were supposed to get through the survey in one meeting. It got broken into 2 meetings because there's a lot to go through, and we want to do it right. This hasn't been done since 2004, so it's been a long time, and we really want to get it right. So we hope folks will come out. One thing I brought it up at the last meeting, I want to bring it up again to council to make sure that we've got support, because we're operating under this presumption that we are going through all this work to get this survey built, and it's of the belief of the majority of the survey committee that we want to mail it out, and there's going to be added cost to that, but we think if we do it all online, we're going to be leaving out a lot of the community that might not be online. I know if you're on Facebook, you think everybody's online, but in reality, it's not really the majority. So if anyone has concern about that, I beg you, please let me know. Don't surprise us at the end and say, no, we don't want to pay for that. We're guesstimating somewhere, again, these are just guesstimates. Katie had gotten some broad numbers. We've got somebody that's getting some other numbers, somewhere between 15 and 20,000 are broad numbers. Obviously, with inflation, that can change the way things are going right now. But I think it's important. I do. I think it's important that we mail it out to people. I've had comments from not only people who aren't tech savvy, but some people who say, I just don't feel as comfortable doing it online. You know, I'm going to feel better sitting down with my family in my house versus you get the thing on, you get a notification on your phone and you just kind of swipe it away and there it goes. So we think it's important. We hope we have council support.
And 15,000 is just for the mailing? It's just postage and printing?
No, the original price for postage and printing was somewhere in the 13,000 range. So that would hopefully include, I don't have anything written, but hopefully that would include the gathering of the data and.
Would that be Pogmeyer?
Pogmeyer will quote it. She said she'll quote it. I don't know that she has, but it has been discussed that we wouldn't mind having one person do the printing, mailing, and gathering, and then we, along with Pogmeyer, would go through.
That's not part of their contract?
It is not.
No, not the survey is, but not the mailing.
Correct.
And again,
they were,
Compiling up the information.
well,
that's the-
compiling information is part of their contract.
Yes, that's what I thought.
but not mailed information. So what they quoted, they didn't think there would be that much paper. So what they had quoted, and again, there's a lot of data here. It's a little confusing. They had a very small amount of time allocated to gathering printed material because they weren't anticipating printed. They weren't anticipating us mailing. So we've asked them to quote.
Is that public input at your meetings or not?
Yes, so the way they work at the end of the meeting is the public is welcome to give input. We've got a lot of people there. We try to keep it as tight in a timeline as possible. So essentially, we have our meeting, then after the meeting, it's opened up to the public.
What is the timeline?
It's about an hour and a half. It starts at 6.
This meeting's starting at 5:30, 5:30 to
This one's
7:30.
5:30, okay.
And it's at the library.
So 2 hours. Yep, thank you. I've been out of town.
I was a strong proponent of the mailing. Going into this thing, and that was in large part because we had success with the mailing last time around. Because we keep hearing that 15-20% is a good, a good return, and we had 30% a return. And the cost factor is, we want this done right. It has been pointed out to me, and I'm going to qualify everything I'm saying by saying this, that I will continue to defer to the decisions of the steering committee in terms of how they proceed on this, whether it's mailing or whatever, subject to council's approval.
Well, council would have to approve the finding.
Exactly. But I'm not going to try to substitute my judgment for that. But so having said that, just for the purpose of the conversation, a couple things were pointed out to me. One was when you mail it, and I'm sure you got thoughts on this. When it comes to a house with mom and dad and 2 kids in college, there's only one set of answers going out with the mailed survey. So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, they'll still have the opportunity, the rest of the family will have the opportunity to scan the QR code
Right.
and fill out more.
Right. No, understood. So one alternative suggestion that I heard was instead of mailing the survey to every household, you mail a postcard to every household. And you tell the household, we'll be happy to provide you with a written copy, with a hard copy if you'd like one. Okay? And I would say even to the extent we'll mail it to you. Send this card back and we'll mail you a hard copy. Or you can go online, and we might be able to save a lot of money in that regard. And it'd be another way of letting people know that, that we're looking for responses for everybody in the household. So I just want to say that out loud while we're all together. Is that it seems to me that's an option that perhaps ought to be considered, but whatever the steering committee decides.
I do know that has been considered, and I do know that that's part of the quotes.
How do you mean?
That's part of what's been quoted, the idea of just sending a card.
Oh, I see. Okay, as
Versus
an alternative. So in the alternative.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe it's a 7-page, if I remember right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, Mr. Nolan has handled getting those quotes, so,
And they gave us a price for the whole survey, and they gave us a price just to mail the cards.
well, we're getting prices from.
Well, we know the card price because we did it. We already sent them once, right? We sent it when we started this thing out.
That was, if I remember right, that was 4,000 to 5,000?
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that. Well,
that's all.
we'll have, again, I'm glad we're having this debate. I want to have this discussion regularly because I do know that I'm going to be coming to you with someone will be coming to you with some sort of proposal that's going to have more information. So that's where we're at right now. But I do welcome people to come to the event. I think it's a good debate. I think it's a good discussion. It's a great group of people.
The survey committee worked very hard, and the steering committee is working very hard. And it's been fun to watch. We got good people.
We do, very good.
And Jack, your next meeting is Tuesday,
Tuesday, the
July
12th,
12th, at 5:30
5:30
to 7:30
5:30 to 7:30, yes.
at the library
at the library. Yep,
on Manchester Road.
correct. Portage Lake Library.
And you come immediately from there to the Tudor House
Right.
to watch. And
We can.
Yes.
okay, you'll be just in time. A little cone of ice, and you'll be ready to go.
Thank you, Jack. Susan, do you have a finance report?
Just a brief update. We, as I told you, I know you've gotten some information from the auditor's email to you. You know that our regular audit is going on. In fact, one of the gentlemen that's still back with me in the conference room. They're thinking by the end of September they'll be done. And they're in and out during the course of it. That's what's different between our independent auditors we do mostly basically sending it, online, share folders and stuff, and then they come out for 2 or 3 days for the stuff that they can't do online. Where with the state auditors, they're here, they're, back and forth. So this is kind of an ongoing thing. The other audit we had was with the BWC, and we got a good, no findings on that. So good audit on that, report on that, and so that one's done, so now we're working on this one.
And this one should be finished maybe September, did you say?
That's what they're telling us, I think.
So that's a long time. It's a long
Yeah, and
process.
it's just like some days they're here and some days they're not.
Mhm.
And you know, I don't mean to have dispersions, but like, we'll be having our own deadlines and they'll be like,
Right.
we need this page full of stuff for the full course right now. It's like, you know, so, but it is what it is.
And those are things that you have to do. You have to comply with them.
We have to,
It makes it difficult.
so it'll all get done.
Well, do we have any old business?
Got a few things here I wanted to bring up. When I got, I was gonna ask about the pickleball courts, but, we already talked about that. 5099 Tate, we had talked about that, probably a few months ago. Resident had some concerns about the cul-de-sac, standing water after it was repaved and stuff. I was wondering if we could get somebody, nothing.
Brian's been in touch with him. I didn't mean to, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to.
it's like, I don't think anything's been done out there. I heard from him, earlier last week, I think it was. So with the water, it's just, I don't know if we can just reach back out to him, and I'm not sure exactly what the end result will be out there. The last thing I had here, I know you guys had mentioned something about a woman who is 104, 108 years old.
Underneath, Maypac, yeah.
Is there anything that we'd like to do to maybe recognize her?
We were standing in line, right, were you guys gonna do something?
I haven't been able to
Okay.
make contact with them. I mean,
All right.
I just said anything over 100.
Oh, sure.
At least recognize them. I would like to see something.
Yeah.
From council, just not every year,
I
but.
have my go-ahead.
All right, well, we'll take over. Yeah, I know last time we talked, you had lead on that. but
Yeah, I,
We were gonna follow, but we'll go ahead and follow up.
Yeah, it's just a monumental type
Sure.
age to hit, and I just think it'd be really great for the city to recognize them.
I don't know the number, but I know where she lives on Yager.
And you know her, don't you, Susan?
Yeah, she's
Didn't you
a
teach her?
teacher for a long time at Coventry, really good teacher.
We'll reach out.
Thank you.
I have a couple things real quick. Mr. Mayor, on the Republic trash, thank you for taking the time with that. You know, it's $2.40 per household, but still, you did something that I'm sure a lot of other mayors would have just said, yeah, it's $2.40, what's the big deal? But, you know, it is a big deal, and it's putting them on notice also that we're watching them, we're watching what they do, so I appreciate you taking the time for that. With the fabulous barbecue event that's coming up at the Tudor House that we sell tickets to as a major fundraiser for the Tudor House, and with our fabulous new website, would it be possible for people to purchase tickets online this year?
That's an excellent question, and we are looking into that.
I think we would be able to sell more tickets if people
I
could
agree.
purchase them online as opposed to having to come here and do it individually.
That's a great idea.
Well, and if they want to call in and buy them, we can do that way, because we can actually, if they've got a credit card or whatever they want to put that on, we can do that on the system in the office, over the phone.
But if they could do it online, you know, so they see it and click the button while they're thinking of it, boom, as opposed to, you know, okay, it's
I'm thinking
9 o'clock at
that's
night, I gotta remember to call tomorrow. I gotta remember to call tomorrow. I gotta remember to call tomorrow. Yeah, but it's right there. They buy it, and then they say, why did I do that? Why did I just spend that?
Is there a cancellation button that you
No, we
can?
got No.
So they should call so that they can think about this and make sure that they
Depends on what a refund costs.
No, you bought it,
That's it.
show off.
I'll follow up.
Thanks. Oh, yeah.
Do we have any new business?
Yeah, I guess I got something. I talked to a couple members here about this grass clippings in the roadway. I
Yes.
brought it up a few years ago, and I guess there is some state stuff, but there's no, I mean, Kevin thinks it possibly, maybe for sure, like some kind of liability or something. I think maybe if other members that are interested, I could look into some, because there's other municipalities that, you know, have laws on it, that there's warnings and there's fines for that, because it's dangerous for bicyclists, motorcyclists, I mean, so, I mean, if everybody's kind of like, they'd like to take a look at it, I could get some stuff together, if everybody's interested, then we won't do it, but.
I kind of think it's a good idea, David. I don't know how everybody would feel about it.
Especially if you can gather up some information.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely out there. I looked at it a couple of years ago, and they printed off this time.
Yeah.
But especially like
That
bicycles
have,
and
I think
motorcycles.
Barberton might have some, because I talked to Barry about it at one point, he thinks maybe they had some, but.
Because it is dangerous, it really is. And I don't think people really think about it when they mow like that.
Yeah, if you could email some other examples, that would be a good way for us to kind of get it online.
I think it'd really even be dangerous. I thought about Kevin Noble running or runners, because that would be slippery.
I did a couple of years ago on Easter Run, they were blowing it out, and I was slowing down I was in my pickup truck. And I slid like I was on ice. It was that
Really?
much on there. Just to say, hey, this is dangerous or whatever.
And I think sometimes it's kind of scary because you never know if they're going to drive out in front of you on the mower too.
Yeah, all right, that's it. I'll start putting some stuff together.
That sounds great.
Send you guys some stuff.
I think it's a good
Thank
idea. Does anybody have any questions or concerns on any of the issues we covered tonight? Sharon?
Sharon Goodwin, 6789 Hampshire Road. I know there's a lot of positive comments on all the paving, and I don't want to take away from that. But frequently I drive between Hampshire and Manchester Road, and the painting of the lines in that section just, is really sloppy. And I don't know if that's an example of how this is going to go forward, but I just thought maybe it.
On Hampshire Road, Sharon?
No, on Comet.
On Comet.
Between Hampshire and Manchester. It's just, I just thought I would ask maybe to.
Are they possibly gonna have to redo some because they're doing the berm grading?
I'll find out.
Sometimes it's temporary.
That's the first I heard.
Yeah.
Me too. I was just down there and I'm thinking to myself, I didn't notice it. Of course, with my driving, we know there are some lines not there.
And I drive it a lot too, and the other day when I was out, just maybe on television and thinking about, not thinking about the lines, but I was driving past and I'm like, this looks really sad.
And it could be they plan on doing, I can't imagine why they would paint and then plan on doing it again.
It could have something to do with the burn. I'll find out.
Any other questions? Paul, do we have an executive?
We do not.
May I have a motion for an adjournment, gentlemen?
Make a motion to adjourn?
You guys back
Second it? I beg your pardon?
next meeting, 2 weeks?
Our next meeting is
We're gonna
August,
have our
I
levy.
know, unless there's nothing to do, I mean,
August 3rd, 2022 at 6 p.m.
well, July.
Oh,
Are we not skipping?
I
Are we
don't, I mean,
going
that's
to?
entirely up to council. I'm gonna be here, but I'm
okay.
not anticipating much.
The agenda says, so,
I thought we
Public
were
has
skipping, because I thought we were skipping.
yeah, we had only talked about skipping the one.
Okay,
It's up to you guys.
and you want me to reread it?
I have no, well, let's discuss it. Does
Okay.
anybody else have a reason that we need to be here again in July?
It would,
What's the hardship of canceling a meeting versus rescheduling?
Well, I would be more inclined to, I think canceling is a little bit difficult.
Okay.
then let's go ahead and have it.
I think you'd be better off, if you're not, if you cancel it, I'm saying cancel it later.
Right.
Yeah.
Same.
If
So
you
don't
cancel
go
it now and your
decide
next
that
meeting's in
there's really
August,
not a need.
if you gotta schedule an emergency meeting, then we can advertise that, but.
So to schedule an emergency meeting would not be that difficult,
Right.
what you're saying.
Would be
It's
easier.
easier than canceling.
Right.
I would say, based on what's on the agenda, what all we have going on this summer, I think it's good that.
If I thought, I can't think of anything that's pressing that we're gonna have to put before you here in 2 weeks, can you?
Then do you want to leave it at August 3rd?
I mean, I see that's what Akron can.
And our charter is comfortable with us skipping?
I'm sorry?
Our charter is comfortable
Oh,
with
yeah,
us?
yeah, we, 1 month.
1 month, okay, perfect.
Miss Kelly, I'm sorry we doubted you.
I'm sorry, I thought it was that.
You did great. Thank you.
Dave suggested we skip them all, go one a month until he retires.
No, no. You gotta be here. We would miss you.
I probably should make a motion to To,
Forego the.
I think we did it the last
Yeah.
time, so, all right, I'll make a motion that we forego the July, I don't have a calendar in front of me.
6.
20.
The July 20th meeting, and our next council meeting will be August 3rd, 2022.
Second? Kelly?
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Motion carries. So we will see everyone at our next meeting, August 3rd, 2022, at 6 p.m. here.